The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, wonder or ancient illusion? Imagine a massive, tiered garden rising out of the desert, filled with exotic plants, cascading waterfalls, and shaded terraces. All floating above the scorching sands of ancient Mesopotamia. A lush paradise built thousands of years ago, in a land more known for its arid climate than its greenery. But here's the twist: no one knows if it actually existed. Welcome to the mystery of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the most captivating enigmas of the ancient world. Were they real? If so, how were they built? And if not, why have they fascinated us for over 2 millennia? In today's journey, we're digging deep into ancient texts, modern theories, lost cities, and even geological puzzles to uncover the truth about this legendary wonder, the world of Babylon. Let's rewind to around 600 BCE. The city of Babylon, under King Nebuchadnezzar II, was one of the most powerful and advanced cities in the world. Located in modern-day Iraq, Babylon dazzled with its temples, palaces, and one especially famous gate, the Ishtar Gate. According to ancient writers like Strabo and Philo of Byzantium, somewhere within this city stood a grand garden built on a series of stone terraces. Unlike any ordinary park, this one was supposedly elevated, designed to resemble a green mountain in the middle of a flat desert landscape. But here's where things start to get weird. None of these accounts come from first-hand witnesses. In fact, there's no definitive mention of the gardens in any surviving Babylonian texts, not even from Nebuchadnezzar himself. Engineering the impossible. If the Hanging Gardens did exist, they would have required engineering genius. Think about it. Massive stone terraces, hundreds of tons of soil, water pumped from the Euphrates River to the top levels, and a support system that could handle the weight of full-grown trees. Some historians believe the Babylonians may have used a chain pump system, an ancient form of irrigation that could lift water through a series of buckets attached to a continuous loop. Others propose they used screws or pulleys, long before Archimedes was credited with inventing such a device. From an engineering standpoint, it's technically possible. Babylonian civilization was more advanced than many give it credit for. They understood mathematics, astronomy, and hydraulics. They built ziggurats, tall step temples, so why not terraced gardens? A case of mistaken identity. One leading theory suggests the gardens weren't in Babylon at all. Dr. Stephanie Daly, an Oxford Assyriologist, argues that the Hanging Gardens may have actually been in Nineveh, the capital of the Assyrian Empire, located hundreds of miles to the north. In her research, she found references to a magnificent garden constructed by the Assyrian king Sennacherib, complete with advanced aqueducts and a water-raising system described in inscriptions. So, could ancient historians have confused Babylon with Nineveh over time? The two cities were often at odds, but Greek and Roman writers who documented the gardens may have blended their legacies, or simply got the names wrong. Myths and misconceptions. One of the most enduring myths is that the Hanging Gardens were built for Nebuchadnezzar's homesick wife, Amytis, who missed the green hills of her homeland. While it's a romantic story, there's no archaeological or textual evidence supporting it. In fact, Amytis herself is barely documented. Another common misconception is that the gardens were hanging in the literal sense, suspended in the air. In reality, the term hanging likely refers to the way plants overhung the terraces, much like modern vertical gardens or balconies filled with vines and foliage. So, while the image of a floating forest is poetic, the reality would have looked more like a series of grand, green steps cascading with life. The archaeological challenge. Excavations at Babylon, especially during the early 20th century, revealed palaces, temples, and even sections of the Ishtar Gate, but no definitive signs of the gardens. One problem? The Euphrates River has shifted its course over the centuries, and much of the city is still buried under silt or inaccessible due to modern infrastructure and geopolitical instability. If the gardens were real, they may simply be waiting to be rediscovered, or, if they were indeed in Nineveh, we may have been digging in the wrong place all along. Why it matters. Whether real or mythical, the story of the Hanging Gardens speaks to something deeply human. Our desire to shape nature, to build beauty in unlikely places, and to dream beyond the possible. It's a symbol of innovation, ambition, and imagination. Even if the gardens were a myth, the fact that people believed in them for centuries shaped our understanding of ancient ingenuity and architectural ambition. And if we ever do uncover definitive proof, it could reshape how we understand Mesopotamian civilization and their capabilities. Fun facts. Did you know that the term paradise comes from an ancient Persian word meaning walled garden? The Hanging Gardens may have influenced that idea. Also, some scholars suggest that the gardens could have created their own microclimate, with mist from waterfalls cooling the terraces and making the space feel like an oasis. Conclusion. So, were the Hanging Gardens of Babylon real? A feat of green engineering or a mirage built from ancient stories? The answer might lie beneath layers of sand, stone, and legend. One thing's for sure, the mystery still inspires us, thousands of years later. If you enjoyed this journey through ancient wonder, give us a like, subscribe for more fascinating explorations, and drop a comment below. What do you think? Were the Hanging Gardens real? And which ancient wonder should we explore next? Stay curious, and see you in the next adventure.